But here's Bryan Fogel talking about why he got into the story of Russian doping, and it starts with the obvious question of, did it start with Lance Armstrong? Was that the reason you got into this story?
And so to me, that was shocking that the most tested athlete on planet Earth, the guy that they were after from, for 13, 14 years, they couldn't catch. And so I'm going to myself, well, hang on. If this has happened with the most tested athlete on planet Earth, what does this mean for all athletes? What does this mean for all of sport? Forget about cycling. We've heard about the cycling scandals. What does this mean for all of sport? And that's what set me off on the journey. So the series of what I found along this film was this continual kind of shocking and at the same time like not so shocking revelations as you got deeper into the story. And then I would learn about how WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, didn't want to investigate the Russian allegations. Then I would learn from the guys inside about the corruption within these organizations. Then I would learn about the Olympics and how they operated and how they were, involved in this. And then I would hear stories from Don Catlin about the United States and how the United States and the USOC had tried to cover up tests. Then, of course, I lead to Gregory, and it turns out that Russia has been facilitating a state-sponsored doping program through the government essentially for the last 40 years. And that the fraud had gotten so big and out of control that at Sochi, they just literally just broke into bottles, dumped out dirty urine and swapped them with clean, and had, in doing so, committed what is, inarguably probably the biggest known conspiracy in sport history and the biggest known fraud in the history of sport. But it was a series.
So once again, that is Bryan Fogel, the director. It's called Icarus, and you can find it on Netflix. And as he said, and this is what is the outrageous part, it was so embarrassing in Sochi, Dave, that they just started chucking out all the dirty urine and swapping it. Like it's literally getting your hand caught in the cookie jar, except to the greatest and the most gigantic stage I can think of, and then still a guy like Putin saying, but don't try any repercussions of this, because I'd be very careful with that. So just another veiled threat from, quite frankly, a world thug.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep.